cool thing about scientific notation is that everybody in the world does it the exact same way. It doesn't matter what country you're from, everybody does it the same way. Essentially what it is, it's a shorthand way of writing very, very large numbers and very, very small numbers. I guess the math nerds all got together and said this is how we're going to do it. Essentially what they do is they place a decimal after the first non-zero digit. In this case it would be after the 2. So what you would end up with is 2.4 and then a bunch of zeros. Well, instead of writing a bunch of zeros, they use times 10 to the number of spaces that they move. So in this case, they would have moved over to the right 6 spaces. So you end up with 2.4 times 10 to the 6. Population of Earth in 2010 was 6,820,000,000,000. Well, that's a big number to write out. So place a decimal after the 6, leaving the 82. So you got 6.82 times 10. And then they just count 2 spaces and then all the way to the end. Turns out there was 9 spaces. Mass of an electron, very, 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 very small number, which is why you see a negative exponent. So again, 9.1, decimal after the first non-zero digit, times 10 to the negative 31, which means they would have counted to the left. There would have been 30 zeros, then a decimal place. So very small. And then here's the last example. You have 2.7 times 10 to the 4th. Positive exponent means you're going to move to the right, got a big number. 2.7 times 10 to the negative 4 means you're going to count to the left, very, very small number. If I take a number 3.25, right? How many places would you move the decimal place?
5.
5. Which direction?
To the right.
To the right. You know something about scientific notation.
What I know about scientific notation is when there's a decimal between 2 numbers or something like that, you either have to move it to the right or the left.
If it's a positive, then it goes to the right, and if it's a negative, it goes to the left.
So give me an example, Pedro. What's an example of scientific notation? So 3.15 times 10 to the 7. So the 7 is how many decimal places you would move to put it between the 3 and the 1?
Yes.
Okay, good. What if a number is very, very small? What would you do?
If it's a positive, then it goes to the right, and if it's a negative, it goes to the left.
So what do you guys know about scientific notation? Thanks, Eugene. That's basically about it for scientific notation. So hopefully you don't get confused. And you don't want to get confused around Marisol, because if you do, she gets a little crazy.